clearly you have people who got the memo a long time ago. I suspect you did. I know I did. It's like, okay, this stuff is fine. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, was like 10 years old, living in the Boston area, and WBZ radio, I think, announced that in a couple of days they were going to air a live pot party from someplace in downtown Boston. It was like a big thing. And I listened to that show when they aired it because I thought, well, I've heard that that drives people crazy and they become heroin addicts and they kill people, all that. And so I listened to this show and I remember standing in the kitchen going, oh, these people sound smart and like they're having fun. And it was a very different thing. I was expecting, unbridled crazies. And so I think to to your point, there are many people who have figured out, hey, this is a good, highly beneficial, superb plant that deserves our respect and is certainly worth taking into our lives. And then you have other people who are very phobic about it, who think it's the work of the devil and all that. I mean, I don't think the matter is solved at all.
And well, and it's really odd to me how we have that extreme view of this. I know you've spent some time, you go back and forth on Dr. Oz's show. I've been on Mehmet's show multiple times. In fact, he and I did maybe now it's close to 6 years ago. We did a show, about cannabis. One of his first shows on cannabis, which was one of his highest rated shows to date.
I'll bet.
So, um, where we had a very serious conversation about cannabis. And I went back to him again, and Mehmet and I were one of the first on TV to talk about cannabis as an exit drug for opioid addiction
Mhm.
and talked about cannabis as a viable medicine. It raised a lot of eyebrows back then, but still, even till today, I know, he is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because he really can't extol the virtues as well as he knows they're there.
No, and I think that a lot of doctors are in that position, unless or until federal regulations change. Doctors are really walking on tightropes. And, I know in Massachusetts, where I live, many of the doctors who a few years ago much more freely gave recommendations for people to, go to the medical dispensaries had to ease off on that because they were being hassled by health authorities, even though the state allowed what they were doing. So it's not a settled time for sure.